Good morning, dear hearts. We're on lesson 46. Please subscribe. God is the love in which I forgive. God will never forgive me. No, God will just never forgive me because God has never judged me. So without judgment, without a grievance, without a condemnation, forgiveness is not necessary. But this lesson tells us that forgiveness is the great need of this world. But that's because this is a world of illusions. This is a world of judgments. Illusions are judgments. And we must either forgive or we will judge in order to justify why we have not forgiven. Forgiveness is what will release us from every illusion in this world and will help us to find our way home. The lesson says because of that reason, really, forgiveness can be called salvation. Forgiveness can be called freedom for us. It tells us, the lesson says that for those who don't forgive, they are binding themselves to their illusions and then to this world. The Course speaks very often in future lessons, it speaks about us being imprisoned. We are imprisoned by our grievances, by our judgments. We build what I call a grief fence, a grievance, a grief fence. We place it around things. We need to be able to take that fence down in order for us to be free, for us to understand truly what is our salvation. And forgiveness is salvation. It is our freedom. It is our way home. The lesson tells us that fear condemns, but love forgives. God is the love in which I forgive. God is love, and love really never condemns. So that is why it is so easy for love to be the way that I use in order to forgive, because when I am in love, then I do not forgive. I do not judge. All I see is the spark within you. I see the truth of who you are. I have no judgments against you because I see your innocence. I see the truth of who you are. If I see myself that way, then I will not judge against myself either. Now, that brings me to the real aha moment here, that, as the lesson tells us, as you condemn only yourself, so do you forgive only yourself. As I've said in other lessons, it's an inside job. If I forgive myself, when I forgive myself, I will be forgiving everyone else along with me, for I will have let go of all the grievances of the things that I thought you did to me, and then I realize none of that was real. So I forgive the thoughts that I had about the illusion, and this is how forgiveness wipes clean that slate between you and me and me and me. Forgiveness. We might think we've forgiven someone. Again, it's really ourselves. But if we haven't forgiven completely, then we haven't forgiven at all. If there's still a little tinge of a grievance, an upset, a distress of any kind, then forgiveness is not complete. Forgiveness, as I said, wipes that slate clean, and it is easy, and it is even, and there is nothing on it except the light of God shining back at us. The exercise for today, this is one that we will have from time to time, and it is one that is particularly useful, and it is to get quiet, go into your mind, and think of someone that you believe needs to be forgiven. And it says that if you're doing the exercises right, you should have no difficulty in finding a number of people that you have not forgiven. And it's a safe rule that anyone that you don't like is a suitable subject. And that can be someone in the news, that can be someone that you know, that can be your neighbor, someone you're related to. It really doesn't matter. They're all one. And so then you close your eyes. The practicing today are 3 full 5-minute sessions. Again, we're going to be going down and deeper into our mind to find these ones that we have not forgiven. And then we will say in our mind that God is the love in which I forgive you. That's the first phase of the exercise. The second phase of the exercise is to now say that God is the love in which I forgive myself. So even though I'm really only forgiving me, we always think that it's someone outside of ourselves. Again, things happen simultaneously. When I've truly forgiven myself, I will have truly forgiven you, and I will only see the light and the truth of who you are, because I'll only see that in myself as well. Additional lines to use: that God is the love in which I love myself. God is the love in which I am blessed. And then again, because our minds are not wholly untrained, we go down and we think of other sentences and ideas that we have already gathered around us from the now 46 days of practicing. And we can say that I cannot be guilty because I am a son of God. God is the love in which I find my truth. God is the love that I forgive the world. God is the love that, and in the love that all of my illusions are released. And God is the love in which I choose to abide. No fear is possible. In the mind beloved of God, there is no need to attack because love has forgiven me. And then, of course, we always end the practicing with the repetition of the day's idea that God is the love in which I forgive. This is a practical course, and practically speaking, this is how we can heal the world. It is the means for healing the world around us. Okay, it helps to relieve and release those blocks to the awareness of love's presence. That's what forgiveness does. It clears out those blocks that we have built up, that grief fence. It's a block to the awareness of love's presence that was spoken of in the very beginning of the course in the introduction. So that is what we are going to do today. We are going to realize that this most recent God is lesson is the one that will certainly be very practical to do and will give us a very big boost towards the achieving of the goal that God would have us achieve. God's will be done. And that's it for today. So a little shorter than the past couple days. A good lesson to practice and to realize that we're freeing ourselves in practicing this, and we're freeing everyone around us. And it's an inside job. So please like, please share, please subscribe, please comment, please smile, please breathe in and release everything out. Let that breath that you release be forgiveness, just flowing over and touching everyone. And please be here tomorrow. Namaste.